So the question I wanted to ask you, and Jason, I want to start with you before we move over to Tyvis. Noel hits 2 home runs last night, has a diving catch. Lane Thomas played center field, but has struggled since becoming a member of the Guardians in 13 games. He has an OPS in the 3s, which is, the noise that those two made doesn't even do it justice. He's hitting 109. He has 5 hits and 46 at-bats. Jason, when playoff time rolls around, do the Guardians have to have an answer to who their everyday right fielder is? Or can they still go with this platoon between Thomas, Noel, moving Thomas around in the outfield? Is that a viable option come playoff time?
Yeah, that's how. I mean, they're not going to change the way they play come October. You're going to do what got you there. So whatever you see now is the way that it's going to continue to be. Those numbers are horrific. Obviously, he changed leagues. That's important. He's seeing pitchers he hasn't seen before or in quite a while. Moving primary. I know there's interleague play, but primarily now, when you change leagues, it's a whole new set of pitchers and whole new scouting reports. So, I'm sure there's pressure on going to a new team. I'm not going to write the guy off because he's had a couple of bad weeks, but these have been horrendous weeks. It's really, really bad. Hopefully he gets it turned around. But, yeah, this is how they play. They're going to keep mixing and matching. They're going to keep moving guys around. This is the MO of this team. And, ideally you would like to have an everyday right fielder who hits 30 home runs, but that's just not where we're at with this team. He hit 22 between now and the end of the season.
Okay. He get to that last game and he had 19. I'm gonna be please. Please.
I'm gonna make a call. You got to bench him. Can't play today.
Ty, what say you on that?
I mean, I'm with him. I'm not going to write him off after 13 games. I mean, what is his playoff career? Like, did they have,
Thomas?
Yeah. Like, I
think non-existent.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. So
I don't think he's...
And I really don't look like that. Why you looking like that?
I'm just trying to rack my brain.
I was sitting there thinking about it. And I was like,
I don't think he's ever played in the playoffs. Yeah.
Well, the fact of the matter is you got to go off of power, okay? And I know he can hit home runs. I need him to turn it on. Now, if he hasn't turned it on from now and it hasn't looked good by the time we get to the playoffs, then the writing's on the wall. You got to go with Big Christmas because at least you know that guy's going to get you a – don't smile like that. Don't smile like that. You know that guy could at least change the game. Jason just said a second ago that in the playoffs, power matters. Yeah. And obviously, pitching's going to be different in the playoffs. He's going to have to really get some plate discipline. He can't be swinging at the one home run that he got off 5 inches off the ground. Like, you got to be smarter about that. But just the fact that he can hit it out the park, you got to keep him in there. And if he continues to play well at right field and he's making diving catches and he's playing well in the field, then you might as well keep him in the lineup. But I got faith that Lane Thomas will figure something out before then, and our outfield should look pretty good.
You saw Oscar Gonzalez a couple years ago.
Yeah, against the Yankees.
And the Rays, hit the home run against the Rays in the series.
Yep.
So, and then he fell off the cliff and never heard from him again and was no longer in the organization. But there is a role for guys who can hit it out of the park, especially in the playoffs. You have to have those guys. I think Noel's on this postseason roster. I'd be shocked if they leave him off it. You have to carry him. You can carry both of them. You can carry Lane Thomas and
I think they're both locks for the playoff roster. Like, let's be honest, because Thomas has the versatility to play other outfield positions as well, and he's a plus base runner, and he's a pretty good defender. And if you're taking a bats away from somebody, if Thomas doesn't turn it around, obviously you can't hit him in the playoffs. Like if he's hitting 100 or 109 after 36 games, like
you'll still play him against lefties.
But that's it. He's strictly
how has he looked at center field? Because I know they've been experimenting with that.
Fine.
He's decent. Yeah, he's solid.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got a rocket arm.
Then
good mobility, but
if he's not there, it's Tyler Freeman, right?
I mean, it could be any number of guys.
Schneeman, it's impossible to predict their lineup. The one thing I'll say about Noel, whether it's right field, DH, whether he's platooning with Lane Thomas, I do think they have to get him more consistent at bats. I really do. And Jason, I see you kind of.
Oh no, I'm just listening.
Oh, I thought you were rolling your eyes.
No.
Because I saw Tyvis smiling. I thought you were rolling your eyes at Tyvis.
No.
He's the kind of guy, and I'm not sure exactly what the comp is. And if you guys have a comp, let me know. But
David Ortiz.
No. Stop. He strikes out a ton. He's a guy that's going to strike. His strikeout rate this year is 33%. He has 80 at-bats this season. He struck out 26 times. He also has 11 extra base hits. More than half his hits this year have been extra base hits. Of his 20 hits, 3 doubles, 8 homers, 55% of his hits go for extra bases. I think he needs the at-bats to get in a rhythm. Because you see in these sporadic times when he comes into the game, or if he plays one day then sits 2, he's just out there chasing everything.
Yeah.
And he's never going to have a good eye, and I don't think he'll ever be a guy with great plate discipline. But it feels like when he gets more consistent at-bats, he at least has some semblance and some frame of, okay, this is the strike zone. This is a little better semblance of if it's outside, I don't have to swing. But when he's only playing 2-3 times a week, it feels like he's out there chopping wood any chance he gets, swinging at horrific first pitches. And if he's not getting those consistent at-bats, I'm afraid that unless he just runs into one like we saw last night or runs into 2, that he's going to be less effective than he could be just because he's out of rhythm. He seems like a rhythm hitter.
What is his natural position?
Outfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
know
called
that.
the hitter. He's just a natural
Yeah.
hitter.
I didn't know he played. Oh, I thought he was like a first baseman or something.
No.
I actually think that is who he is. I don't think it's a
a
product of
rhythm
only
thing,
playing a
it's
couple
just-
days a week. I just think
just
that's
him.
the type of hitter he is. And again, I go back to Oscar Gonzalez. Oscar Gonzalez was really undisciplined. A lot of power, but just he chased a lot of bad pitches that he shouldn't have been chasing. Noel is not to that extreme, but I do think that there's a little bit of a similarity between Noel and Oscar Gonzalez. And that's not to say Noel can't do it long term, because that power is so tantalizing.
Dynamic,
that you want to see more, and you have to see more. But I think that they're just trying to be strategic right now and picking their spots when he plays. And you know, we kind of saw it with David Fry. David Fry was so good for so long, he forced their hand that they had to find a spot to play him more often, probably than they expected to. And hopefully Noel, if he keeps hitting 2 home runs a night, they'll find a spot for him. He'll force their hand. But it's a matter of staying disciplined, swinging at the right pitches. You can live with the strikeouts to an extent.
As long as he's swinging at good pitches.
Yeah, you can live with the strikeouts to an extent, especially in today's game, if the payoff is there. And he's one of those guys who I hope evolves into a middle of the order bat, because it's like he's a threat. He's a threat. He's a threat to hit it out every time he's in the box, and they don't have enough of those guys.
And on top of that, he's fun as hell to watch.
Yeah.
Like,
He is.
the Guardians have a bunch of guys in their lineup who, when they come up, if you change the channel for a sec, you're not really like, I'm probably okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names. Y'all know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. We don't have to put anyone on blast. When Jhonk's up, it's appointment television. Your eyes are glued to the screen.
Because you know he might knock this thing out the.
Or he might swing at a pitch 46 inches outside the zone. Like, you
that's
have
true, too.
no idea what's coming, but you have to watch it. He makes watching baseball more fun, and that's why I think he's been so welcomed and accepted by this fan base. He is a fun dude to watch. He doesn't look like a traditional baseball player. He doesn't play like a traditional baseball player, but when he makes contact, he hits that SOB further than anyone else in the Guardian, and it ain't even close. Earl, you
I
want to
got
say
a question
something?
for Jason.
Shoot.
So growing up, Jim told me was like this ultra power hitter that struck out a lot. Do you see those similarities in Noel?
No, I'm not going to compare him to a Hall of Famer. Jim was an all-around he was a very good baseball player, football. And,
Probably was a good football player, too, for being honest.
And yes, he
huge.
did strike out, but not at a 33% clip, I don't think. I'd have to go back and look at his career numbers. I don't think he struck out that much. I mean, Tommy was one of the best to ever do it. You can't put Noel in that conversation yet. But it's fair to say that there's a certain amount of there's a threshold, there's a certain amount of strikeouts that you can live with if you're getting the payoff. And obviously, Jim Tomey gave you the payoff with the power that he had. But I can't make that comparison yet.
I'll give you a strikeout rate right now. Hold on. Yeah, not 33. It's 26%.
Oh, for Noel?
Tomey.
Or Tomey, yeah.
Tomey.
Yeah, that's a lot more manageable.
He did strike out a lot. I mean, he struck out 185 times in 2021.
He had some. Who? Tomey?
Tomey.
Well, that's at the end of his career.
I mean, in 2001. Sorry, 2001.
That's the prime of his career. He had some years of big. Yeah, 2021. He was retired by then. He had some big strikeout years.
He
Some
had
big
40
strikeout numbers.
47 homers that year. So you live 47 homers, 131 ribbies. You live with striking out as much as you
Absolutely.
are if you're going to be.
Right.
When you make the contact, the other two-thirds.
Plus, look at what his averages were. His averages weren't terrible. It was a different era.
Just imagine if Jhonkensy played.
He hit
every
304 that year, and struck out.
I mean, look at his OPS. That's probably better.
1.122.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you say?
1.122, and he finished 7th in the MVP. There's no way 6 players had a better season than that.
He hit that well?
Jim Thome was a monster.
I
Dude.
know that, but that's really good.
He didn't even sniff the top 6 for MVP either. That's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, either way, Noel, he makes baseball fun. Lane Thomas is not as bad as he's been in a Guardians uniform. Like, this has been the worst stretch
He better figure it out.
of Lane Thomas's season, probably his career. I don't think he's ever hit.
Was it true that I think Roy, before he came to us, was it true that he was on like a 26 game hit streak?
Thomas?
Yeah. I thought I was watching the game and I thought I saw that.
It's 26 game on base streak.
Oh, is that
Not
what
hit
it
streak,
is?
on base streak.
Okay.
And he has listen, he's drawn 5 walks in 14 games. His eye discipline at the plate is significantly better than Jhonkensy Noel's. However, Noel's hitting right now, and Lane Thomas isn't. And at the end of the day, you need dudes who can hit the baseball.
He just need to hit the ball. It starts tonight. I'm putting it down in the parlay. Lane Thomas hit.
A hit?
One.
Go with the home run.
If you feeling frog, just go 2 hits.
Yeah.
What is y'all ain't gonna threaten me with a good time. Hold on, let me see.
Over 5.5 bases.
Nah, see, now you tripping. You tripping.
I had Jose for an RBI yesterday. He didn't get it, so I think I think Jose is a lot for an RBI tonight. So why don't you go Lane Thomas?
Okay, hold on. Wait a
Plus
minute.
2 hits.
Let me
Let's
put
go Jose RBI. We're gonna go Matthew Boyd 4 strikeouts. We're gonna take the alternate. We ain't doing no 4.5.
See?
We're gonna just go 4 strikeouts.
Okay, we got $10 to win you 60.
Let's go to Guardians money line, and then whatever fan do a boost they give you.
Guardians money line. I ain't got no boost. $10 win you $77. 4-leg parlay.
There you go. That's gas, and then that's a trip to Crispy Chick.
All right, let's get a read in and let's talk a little Deshaun Watson.